Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we break down all the biggest and wildest stories happening in the tech world. Wow, what a week in tech, right? I mean, we've got everything from AI lawsuits and brand new Apple Watches to massive internet outages that took down huge parts of the web. It's been a lot. So, what on earth just happened? Let's get into it. All right, here's the plan for today. We're going to tackle the big AI copyright clash, then dive into the AI arms race. After that, we'll check out some cool new tech upgrades you might be eyeing, and we'll wrap up with a look at some of the tech backlash we're seeing. Let's do it. Okay, let's kick things off with the AI copyright clash. This is a really big deal because it gets to the heart of a huge question. Who actually owns all the data that's fueling these AI models? It's a question that could change, well, everything. And wow, Reddit is not holding back. They're basically calling data scrapers would-be bank robbers. I mean, talk about throwing down the gauntlet. They're saying that knowing you can't get into the vault, you go for the armored truck instead. They see this as straight-up theft, plain and simple. So what's this all about? Well, at the heart of it, you've got Reddit suing an AI search developer called Perplexity, along with a few data firms. They're saying, hey, you can't just come and take all of our users' conversations to train your AI without permission. And this is where things get really murky, legally speaking. You've got two totally different arguments. On one side, the AI companies are crying fair use. They're saying, look, we're just taking public data and transforming it into something new and amazing. But on the other side, you have platforms like Reddit saying, nope, that's just a fancy way of saying you're stealing our stuff. It's copyright infringement, and if you want our data, you gotta pay up. So you can see Reddit is really playing hardball here. They're alleging a crazy amount of scraping. We're talking 3 billion pages in just 2 weeks. And they're saying these firms are trying to cover their tracks, masking their identities. But here's the kicker. Reddit isn't against AI. Not at all. They've already got deals with Google and OpenAI. What they're against is people taking their data for free. The message is super clear. Either get a license and pay up, or get ready for a lawsuit. All right. So this whole legal drama is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. It's part of this huge, almost philosophical debate that's happening right now. Are we moving too fast with AI? Should we pause, or should we be racing to deploy it? Yeah, over 700. That's a lot of people. And these aren't just random folks. We're talking about the godfathers of AI themselves, Geoffrey Hinton and Yoshua Bengio, the very people who built this field. They have signed on to a statement basically calling for a ban on creating superintelligence. They're genuinely worried we could be creating something we can't control. And you know what? It's not just the experts. The general public is feeling pretty cautious too. A recent poll showed that almost 2/3 of Americans, 64%, think we should pump the brakes until we know this stuff is safe. Only about 5% are all in on the current move fast and break things approach. But here's the thing. While the experts are worried and the public is skeptical, in the business world, it's a completely different story. The race is on, and it is absolutely accelerating. I mean, just look at this quote from EA, the video game giant. They're not talking about existential risk. They're calling AI a trusted ally. It just goes to show you the massive gap between the people building the core tech and the companies rushing to use it. And this is happening right now, like this week. EA is teaming up with Stability AI to make games. The folks who make Oreos, they're using AI for TV ads. Microsoft just gave its Copilot a new face and a better memory. And ChatGPT is now plugging right into your work tools like Slack and Google Drive. It's not some far-off future thing. It's happening at a massive scale today. Okay, so we've been talking about these big, kind of abstract ideas about AI. But this tech is also showing up in very real physical things, the stuff you can actually hold in your hand. So let's switch gears and talk about your next potential tech upgrade. So you're in the market for a new watch or some new earbuds. Which ones are right for you? It's always a tough call, right? Well, let's break down a couple of the biggest gadget showdowns happening at this very moment. Let's talk Apple Watch. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck, the SE3 is probably your go-to. It's the most affordable, but it's got that same zippy S10 chip as the more expensive models. Now, if you want the best all-around watch, that's the Series 11. It's got more advanced health sensors, like for hypertension. And then there's the Ultra 3. This thing is a tank, built for extreme athletes with a crazy long battery life and all the bells and whistles. Okay, now for the earbuds. This is the battle royale. Apple's AirPods Pro 3 versus Sony's WF-1000XM5. And look, let's be real. If all you care about is the absolute best sound quality and noise canceling, Sony is still the king. But the new AirPods are getting really, really close. And if you're already in the Apple ecosystem, that seamless connection plus the new health tracking features, that makes them a super tempting choice, especially since they're a bit cheaper. All right, for our last section, we need to talk about the flip side of all this shiny new tech. Because for every cool new gadget and convenient feature, there's a cost. And sometimes it's one we don't really see at first. And boy, did we get a reminder of that this week with the huge AWS outage. I mean, huge chunks of the internet just vanished. Roblox, Snapchat, even Reddit were struggling for a while. And then, and you gotta love the timing on this, a few days later, Amazon announces a brand new tool to help you report outages. Kind of ironic, right? It really shows how much we rely on just a few companies to keep the internet running. And speaking of unseen costs, let's talk privacy. OpenAI has a new web browser called ChatGPT Atlas. The big idea is that it's like a personal assistant that learns from you to make browsing better. Sounds cool, right? But here's the catch. For an AI to learn about you, it has to watch you. Naturally, this is raising some big privacy flags. The good news is you're not totally powerless. If you decide to give Atlas a try, you can actually go into the settings and just turn off the memory feature. You can also use its incognito mode, or even go in and manually delete things it's saved about you. You just have to remember to actually do it. And it's not just about data privacy. There's a real-world physical cost too. We think of AI living in the cloud, but it takes a mind-blowing amount of electricity to run. So much, in fact, that Google, a company that talks a lot about green energy, is now helping fund a brand new natural gas power plant. It's a pretty clear sign of just how massive the energy appetite for AI really is. And finally, let's talk about the financial cost, specifically to you and me. This number is just staggering. $150 million. That's how much ransomware groups are stealing every single day. That's according to a new exhibit at the Mob Museum, of all places. It's a stark reminder that organized crime is alive and well. It's just gone digital. So that kind of brings us to the big overarching question of the week, doesn't it? When you put it all together, the legal fights, the privacy issues, the environmental costs, the cybercrime, it all leads to one thing. Technology is moving at a breakneck speed. But are we as a society actually prepared for the consequences? Are our laws ready? Are our ethics ready? It's something we really need to think about. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.